Well, there's all these people to complain.
Yeah. Hi. We're doing something right, I guess. Huh? It is a good thing.
I'm not sure what that is.
Put her stuff there.
That's not it.
Yeah.
I just told her she come once you look good.
Just got prices on everything, so I have to discuss it. So I just got the
Oh, here, I got her number.
No, you don't need it.
How are you?
I'm logged in.
No, you are good. Okay. We'll be starting in a second.
Grand.
Yeah, so we have $20. We're going to put it all on Rick.
We have paid on the phone.
Yes.
Yes, we have paid on the phone.
Hello.
Hello. Is this mine? Thank you. Okay.
So when should I bring it up in the block? We should do it out here.
It's up to you. If you want to bring it up under
New business?
Okay. All right.
I love this design, like hurricane.
Are we ready? Okay. Good evening. The hour of 7 p.m. having arrived and passed. Apologies for our tardiness. I call to order this legislative meeting for the Woodland Hills School Board for the month of September 2018. Ms. Pule, will you call the roll, please? David Graves.
Here.
Sharday Seligson.
Present.
Jeff Hanchett.
Here.
Ava Johnson. Rhonda Curry. Here. Jeff Hildebrand.
Here.
Paige Strasbaugh.
Here.
Mike Belmont.
Here.
Jamie Glasser.
President, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay. That will move us to the acceptance of the minutes. Is there a motion to accept the minutes?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Belmont, second by Dr. Hildebrand. Any notes, addenda, or comments on the minutes? Okay. Seeing none, this will call the vote to accept the minutes for all three of the meetings last month. Motion carries unanimously. The board met in executive session following the agenda-setting meeting last week, and also this week to discuss personnel, legal, and security issues. Mr. Harris, are there any announcements?
Yes, this week is homecoming. So this Monday at the schools we had Meme Day, dress like your favorite meme or vine. Tuesday is Twins Day, dress like your bestie. Wednesday, Hawaiian Hump Day. Thursday, Throwback Day. And Friday is Wolverine Spirit Day. Clash of classes. Freshmen are gray, sophomores are white, juniors blue, seniors black. We also have float building this week at Turtle Creek Fire Department from 5 to 7:30 p.m. Friday, also the pep rally at the new gym at 1:30 at the high school. The Turtle Creek Parade is at 5:45, and the football game kickoff is at 7 p.m. There's also a homecoming dance for 9th and 12th grades, 6:30 to 10 at the high school cafeteria.
Okay, great. Hope to see everyone at the events. Does anyone else have announcements?
Question.
Yeah.
Should we announce that the committee meetings have been changed?
Yes, we should. Thank you for that. Our committee meetings have been moved because of open house events next week. Our committee meetings will be the following week, the first week in October. The dates are escaping me.
Tuesday the 2nd?
Tuesday the 2nd and Wednesday the 3rd. They'll be at 6 p.m. here at the Administration Center. And the details about which committees meet which night can be found on the website. So thank you all for your flexibility in moving those meetings. Okay. That will bring us to student speakers. Do we have student speakers this evening, Dr. Woods?
I had one scheduled.
Okay.
I think she was on the float committee, but I don't know what happened.
Okay. Well, that's all right. We'll hope to see them next month.
All right.
I don't believe there are any presentations this month or this week. Okay. So that'll move us to registered speakers. Fawn Nanji is registered. I don't see Mr. Nanji with us, so I suppose that moves us right into the agenda. Mr. Harris.
Okay. Board Matters 2.1. Request approval the Eastern Area Schools Joint Committee 2018-19 Mail Ballot Resolution number 2018-1 and Budget Resolution number 2018-2.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Hanchett, second by Mr. Belmont. Any questions or discussion? Okay. Seeing none, call the vote. Motion carries unanimously. Which moves us to 2.2.
Okay, Board Matters 2.2. Request the election of PSBA officers as listed.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Mr. Hanchett, second by Dr. Hildebrand. Any questions or discussions on this?
So we're not like selecting candidates, right? We're just. So I read through all the list of things, and it was like.
Yeah,
There are no,
Yeah, there's,
you know,
they're already unopposed, right? Okay, that's
contested seats. They're all
what I
single
thought.
person. And these are the only positions, I looked at the ballot, these are the only positions
They're
we
relevant
can
to
vote
us,
for.
yeah.
All those other ones are other districts in the state. They all vote for those. They'll vote for those.
Any other questions? Okay. Seeing none, call the vote. Motion carries unanimously, which moves us to 2.3.
Okay, Board Matters 2.3. Request approval of revised policy 707 facilities usage fee schedule.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Mr. Hanchett, second by Dr. Hildebrand. Any questions or discussion? Okay, seeing none?
Yeah, for
Oh, sorry.
clarification, it's the stadium fee that really was the only one to change?
Yes.
Okay.
Anything else? Okay, seeing none, call the vote. Motion carries unanimously, which moves us to 3.1.
Curriculum 3.1. Request approval of the addendum for the modification of the pre-K counts.
She's on the computer.
Oh, she's logged in.
Okay, is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions or discussion?
Who was first? I'm sorry. I missed the first.
I-
You were second. Were you first or
I was
second?
second.
Who's first? I'm sorry. Thank you, Mr. Belmont.
No. For purposes of the record, the question from Mr. Hanchett was about whether Ms. Strasbaugh was voting, and we indicated that she's on the computer from afar. So, okay. Seeing no further questions or discussion, we will call the vote. Motion carries unanimously, which moves us to 3.2.
Curriculum 3.2. Permission to be to enter into a contract agreement with the Allegheny Intermediate Unit to provide services for non-public schools as per federal programs.
Is there a motion? Okay.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Hanchett, second by Ms. Seligson. Any questions or discussion? Seeing none, we'll call the vote. Motion carries unanimously, which moves us to 4, special education, and 4.1.
Special Education 4.1. Approval to ratify, renew the site-based academic services agreement between the Wesley Family Services and the Woodland Hills School District.
Is there a motion? Okay.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Hanchett, second by Ms. Seligson. Any questions or discussion? Okay. Seeing none, call the vote. Motion carries unanimously, which moves us to 4.2.
Special Education 4.2. Approval to ratify contract with Therapeutic Learning Center Family Links.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Hanchett, second by Ms. Seligson. Any questions or discussion? Seeing none, call the vote. Motion carries unanimously, which moves us to 4.3.
Special Education 4.3. Approval to accept a settlement agreement involving a current Woodland Hills School District student.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Hanchett, second by Ms. Seligson. Any questions? We probably have to go into executive for that, but are there anything anyone has for that? Okay. Seeing none, call the vote. Motion carries unanimously, which moves us to 4.4.
Special Education 4.4. Approval to ratify medical staffing agreement with Capital Healthcare Harmony Home Healthcare Services effective September 5, 2018.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Hanchett, second by Ms. Seligson. Any questions or discussion? Okay, seeing none, Call the vote. Thank you, Ms. Johnson. Motion carries unanimously. That moves us, since there's nothing under people personnel, that moves us to personnel. 6.1.
Okay, Personnel 6.1, Section A, authorization for leaves. Section B, authorization for retirement resignation. Section C, authorization to hire professional staff. Section D, authorization to hire non-professional staff. Section E, authorization for transfers awards. Section F, authorization for EDR mentor actions. Section G, authorization for miscellaneous.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Hanchett, second by Ms. Seligson. Any questions that would necessitate executive session, but are there anything?
Well, I do have a question. I don't know if it necessitates an executive session.
Okay.
So in Section D, we have 6 or so PK paraprofessionals at Edgewood and Wilkins. I'm assuming these are with the new pre-K classrooms. And is there a reason that we have that many paraprofessionals? I mean, I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out what the staffing of those pre-K classrooms are.
The pre-K, there are 2 pre-K classrooms at Edgewood.
Right.
There are 2 paras in each, so we needed 4.
Okay.
There was currently 1 person already in. We had a resignation in June. So that left us with 3, and then we have 2 at Wilkins. So we have 5 altogether.
Okay.
2 at Wilkins to 3 at Edgewood.
So I guess as an edification question, is that sort of the standard operating procedure that you have that number of paraprofessionals with those size classrooms?
Yes, there has to be 2 to cover lunches for the teacher. 1 para comes in and they overlap. The other para leaves and the other one comes in, covering lunch.
Okay.
I don't like that answer your question.
I'm assuming they're doing more than covering lunches. They're there all day. Yes. Yeah.
Yes, it's
okay.
covered from the time that they're supposed to arrive to the time that the school buses leave.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure that that's what sort of the numbers that we were. Okay, that's cool.
Okay.
I'm good.
All right. And the other paras are special ed paras that we were in the process of hiring from Marina Bid.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I just had a question about that whole bolus of the pre-K ones.
Right.
And how that was set up. Okay. No, that's good.
All right.
Thank you.
Anything else on the personnel tab? Okay. Seeing none, call the vote. Motion carries unanimously, which moves us to buildings and grounds.
Buildings and Grounds 10.1, request permission for the use of facilities by outside organizations for the 2018-19 school year.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Hanchett, second by Dr. Hildebrand. Any questions on that?
Yeah.
Good. After you, sir.
I'm still, this is probably month 3 that I'm asking for a better clarification on the scheduling process of how we can determine whether or not we're overlapping the schedule at all. We consistently get what the current dates are and maybe some in the next month if it's going to be carried over. But we kind of need a better calendar.
Are you referring to like looking at a facility from October 8th of this year to February 28th
Yes.
of next year?
Yes.
And we have no idea if there's something
We have
already
no
booked
idea.
there. I mean, you can look on the school dude calendar. That should be on there.
Well,
right?
that's what I was just going to say. If we sign everybody up on School Dude, where you have access to look at the School Dude calendar itself,
Do you need access, or can anybody look at that to see what groups
you
are
should
using
be able to
it?
look at the calendar at any given time.
But any
Yes.
community member should be able
Correct.
to do that. Yes.
Correct.
So you don't have to be signed up necessarily. To reserve a spot, you have to have an account.
Right.
Now, I didn't do my due diligence, and I didn't check the calendar for all those days, but
Well, just what happens is this next month, we're no longer going to see this, but that all those
Right.
dates to February are still going to be
booked.
bookings. And we have no knowledge when we're approving stuff that if it's overlapping or
I'm
not.
assuming he's supposed to do that before they show up on here.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be looking at it 2-3 times.
So we're going to have trust
Secretary,
trusting you.
Well, that's pretty much why I'm here, so.
Thank you.
So you're saying that,
So if I mess up, you get to slap my hands.
well, there's a flag, so if they're trying to sign up for a date that's already taken, it's not going to accept them.
Correct. Yep.
Okay, so
And again, we got also, if you, I don't know, somebody's probably seen an email, somebody emailed a application in. We are no longer accepting the paper applications. So they have to go on to our school dude to sign in to create their stuff so it can get implemented through school dude now.
So, and again, I'm not trying to throw any organization under the bus here, but so Metro Basketball booked for 4 months,
Yep.
every day of the week apparently.
Yep.
It doesn't say Monday through Wednesday to Friday. Are they being charged $10 every day that they're putting a request in for a day?
Every application that they put in, they get charged $10.
Okay, so it's not for every reservation.
It's an application fee.
Okay,
Okay.
that's
Wait, that's not.
what
That's
we.
not what I thought we had understood.
No.
But
It's an application fee. You're supposed to get charged $10 for every application that you send.
Not for every reservation. So
Not
they
for every
reserve this
so
for
if they
4 months.
you don't get charged.
Okay, that's what I thought it had said.
me too.
And I
Do you want to confirm on that?
thought so too.
Because I even believe it says on our website $10 application fee.
Policy is that 707.
So as a follow-up question to that, why is the Woodland Hills aquatic team charged a custodial fee and the Metro Basketball is not charged a custodial fee since it's the gym? And I thought the gyms were being charged custodial fees unless they were facilities or school organizations.
Most times they will help and clean up the gym, and then if they don't clean up the gym, it's reported to me, then we charge them the custodial.
Okay, so should that say custodial fee if applicable, like
Yeah,
the
correct.
swim team has,
Yes.
and whoever else is on here has that? Okay, I just want to make sure we're consistent about who's getting charged custodial fees and who's not.
Okay, I found the language, and there is a $10 reservation fee for each day of usage
Is it
requested.
each day?
Yes.
I thought we said it was $10
So
per
that's
application.
4 times 30, that's
Each
100.
day.
That's $1,200 that they're being charged for every reservation.
So something like that would be every day.
It would be cost prohibitive for people to use at that fee.
But the idea is not to book 3 or 4 months of usage
I'm
because
with you, but that's because I was going to say we shouldn't do that. So
Well, but
Anyway.
I mean, we had to come along. Somebody's run a basketball league. I ran good basketball, and so you have to look at that because then if you don't, then we'll just book for the whole time. Monday through Friday, and then they do it. And if they don't use the gyms on Thursdays because there's nobody there, man, what it doesn't cost me.
But
Who cares?
my
But
point
maybe
is-
somebody else could use that gym.
right, but my point is, the policy said that they should be getting billed $10 for every reservation, which is 4 months of reservations. So that should be $1,200.
Which we know most of our associations can't afford.
No kidding. That's why I didn't vote for it because of that language.
well, it's not even being utilized the correct way, so it doesn't even matter at this point.
Do you want to revisit that policy, I guess?
We have to
Yeah,
revisit
I
that
think we have
policy
to.
because it's still not working.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, then we have to figure out what categories, that's the other issue, groups fall under.
Well, this one changed its setup. They're not charging admission anymore.
Yes,
So they've
that
dropped
just changed.
to no charge.
No charge.
So now we're
Okay,
not.
well that's fine.
So now we're not charging them to use the basketball courts
Yeah.
because they're not going to charge.
All right,
at
so
the
why it
door.
says fee waived? Okay.
Right.
Yes.
So then your category changed too.
That there just changed what I think last week, Mike. Didn't they come in last week and say they weren't going to charge at the door?
They didn't see me. I know that
It was somebody.
Ron, athletic director Ron Corsi,
Right.
mentioned it last week's exec committee meeting that we had.
Let's just revisit this at committee again.
Yeah, I think we need to.
Right. But theoretically, every group that's using an inside facility should have a custodial fee if applicable.
Correct.
If applicable.
If that.
Okay.
Yeah. That's during school time. We have custodians there till 1 o'clock.
Yes, to 1 a.m. So if we already got staff on, we're not going to
Okay.
charge somebody
Yeah.
Fair
because that's their area to clean as well. Anyway.
Okay, fair enough.
That's why we say if applicable.
Okay.
But yeah, that's the only thing it's missing is if applicable. It should state it.
Yeah, okay.
In
Just
every
wanted-
case, it should state it.
Okay.
Mr. While you're there, should we wait until it's time, or I just want to update on intermediate billing?
Oh,
You want to do that now?
Yeah, let's go ahead.
Mr. Fitz, can you just give us a quick update on what's going on with the intermediate billing?
As far as the
Elevator, PA system?
PA system, we just got notification that Doble is going to lease us a PA system to put at the intermediate for $2,000 for the rest of the year.
I just worked it out with them today. They can provide us with a new and used. They have some used parts that they can give us, but they'd have to buy some new to fill in, and it would be like over $10,000 to purchase it. They said they would go out and buy the stuff they need to make a complete system, and they would lease it to us. We would pay the installation fee, which could possibly be under $1,500, and they'll charge us $2,000 a year to rent it. And when we walk away from the building, we call up and say, "Come get your equipment." So so it's going to take a while to get that put in. We have some kind of, it's temporary. What are we running now? We're running, what can we do and can't we do with that PA system now?
It's very little that we could do right now with the system. It doesn't cover the whole entire building.
They can make announcements.
They can, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Okay, but if they make announcements, can everybody hear them?
No.
No. Not according to Ms. Klein.
All right, but if we lease, so I guess if there's problems with the system, they'll come and fix it, right? Okay.
And what would that lease? Probably 2 years or 1 year?
Looking at a year and a half.
Year and a half. Okay, so probably 2 years at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
When the repairman was there, he rigged up the old microphone. Remember the 1950s, the old-fashioned microphones? You press the button. That's rigged up to the speakers, to a couple of speakers. You can hear it very clearly in the hallways, but most of the rooms cannot hear the announcements. You'd have to actually step in the hallway to hear it. Some rooms say they're getting it, but it's in the hallways for the most part.
And the elevator?
And it is not in the office.
Okay.
You have to go through the main lobby to the electrical room.
Is there any safety alternatives for us to notify, being able to notify rooms? Because something happens there, and all the teachers. We have to kind of figure something out.
There are telephones in the classroom, but you would have to dial in one at a time. But we're collecting everybody's cell phone, and we're trying to rig up some sort of group text where we could just text everyone at once.
What's the timeline for getting?
What's the timeline for
I
paying?
didn't find that out.
I would suggest we expedite it.
Yeah, I'll let you know. I'll find out.
Yeah.
I would say,
All right.
I'll
Thank you.
for whatever it is, to
The
get
elevator?
The elevator, cone elevator, is due out tomorrow morning. Again, it's one of the oldest elevators, and it's an electrical issue, so they have to go through each wire by wire, and it's like spaghetti noodles. That's the best way to sum it up. So they have to go through every single wire.
There's a short in the system.
They couldn't find the drawings, so we just got drawings for that elevator. So it's going to take some time to go through each wire to find the short to get it repaired. So, and there are no parts for this elevator, so we got to keep our fingers crossed that it gets us through it, through the school year.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, any further discussion, questions? Okay, seeing none, call the vote. Motion carries unanimously. That will move us to school finance.
School Finance 12.1, request ratification of the bill list for invoices paid after August 15, 2018 legislative meeting.
So moved.
Is there a second?
A second.
Moved by Mr. Hanchett, second by Dr. Hildebrand. Any questions or discussion on the bill, on the ratification list? Okay, seeing none, call the vote. Motion carries unanimously. 12.2.
School Finance 12.2, request approval of the September 2018 bill list.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Hanchett, second by Dr. Hildebrand. Any questions or discussion? Okay. Seeing none, call the vote. Motion carries unanimously, which moves us to 12.3.
School Finance 12.3, request approval of the August 2018 fund reports and student activity reports for informational purposes.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Dr. Hildebrand, second by Mr. Hanchett. Any questions or discussion? Okay. Seeing none, call the vote. Motion carries unanimously. That'll move us to 12.4.
School Finance 12.4, request approval of the investment reports for July 2018.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Hanchett, second by Dr. Hildebrand. Any questions or discussion? Okay. Seeing none, call the vote. Motion carries unanimously, which moves us to 12.5.
12.5, request approval to accept the funds from the Wilkins PTO for $5,068.16.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Belmont, second by Mr. Hanchett. Any questions or discussion?
Just that I'll abstain for the personal.
Okay. Any further discussion or questions? Okay. Seeing none, we'll take the vote. Motion carries by a vote of 5-2 with one abstention, which moves us to 12.6.
School Finance 12.6, request approval to accept the funds from the University of Michigan's Monitoring the Future program.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
So moved. Second. Sorry.
Moved by Mr. Hanchett, second by Dr. Hildebrand. Any questions or discussion? Seeing none, we'll take the vote. Motion carries unanimously, which moves us to 12.7.
School Finance 12.7, request approval to accept the funds from Mr. Jonathan Holman for classroom costs.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Hanchett, second by Dr. Hildebrand. Any questions or discussion?
Can we make sure to send him a note or something of appreciation for when that,
Certainly.
assuming this passes?
Any further questions or discussion? Okay. Seeing none, we'll take the vote. Motion carries unanimously, which moves us to 12.8.
School Finance 12.8, request approval to replace our postage machine to release with Amnesty.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Hanchett, second by Dr. Hildebrand. Any questions or discussion? Seeing none, we'll take the vote. Motion carries unanimously, which moves us to 12.9.
School Finance 12.9, request permission to dispose of surplus athletic uniform.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Hanchett, second by Dr. Hildebrand. Any questions or discussion? Seeing none, we'll take the vote. Motion carries unanimously, which moves us to 12.10.
School Finance 12.10, request approval to engage the appraisal services of Newmark, Knight, Frank, and Advisory, LLC.
If I can make a suggested addition to that, payment would be payment based on proportional millage with Wilkins Township.
Yeah, that's in the tab.
It's in the tab.
It's in the tab, yeah.
Okay.
So, for informational purposes.
Very sorry.
Yeah, so, okay. All right. Is there a second?
Second.
Moved by Mr. Hanchett, second by Dr. Hildebrand.
Okay, so just for clarification, the firm that's in here is the one that Wilkins Township already approved?
Yes.
Okay, because I know we had talked about two different ones. Okay, just want to make sure that that was up to date. Okay.
That's the one, the same one.
Any other questions? Okay. Seeing none, we'll take the vote. Motion carries unanimously, which moves us to superintendent section.
Okay, Superintendent 14.1, approval of senior members of the Woodland Hills High School Performing Arts Department to travel to New York City on January 18, 2019 through January 21st, 2019.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Hanchett, second by Mr. Belmont. Any questions or discussion?
I don't have to abstain if my daughter's going on this, do I?
No, you don't need to abstain because you're not getting any financial benefit out of it.
Very true. In fact, I'll be spending more money.
It's your financial detriment.
Okay. Any further questions or discussion? Seeing none, we'll take the vote. Motion carries unanimously, which moves us to 14.2.
Superintendent 14.2, approval to extend Pat Harper's contract with the Woodland Hills School District for the Heinz Endowment Living Well Grant for the 2018-2019 school year.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Moved by Mr. Hanchett, second by Dr. Hildebrand. Any questions or discussion?
Yeah, this is not costing us anything, is it? I thought the endowment, is the endowment paying for this?
The Heinz Endowment funds this program.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Just want to be sure.
Any further questions or discussion?
Okay, we're positive that Heinz is covering our the $75 an hour rate or whatever. Okay. It's not the way I had it written.
Okay. Any further questions? Okay. Seeing none, we'll take the vote. Motion carries unanimously. And that moves us to 14.3.
Superintendent 14.3, approval of the 5A Elite Youth Empowerment Peace Builders Institute pilot program at the high school pending the solicitor's review.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Hanchett, second by Ms. Seligson. Any questions on this one?
Can we have a brief explanation as to what's involved here?
Nate Brown was approached by some of our students to come to the high school because he had been working with them in the community on the issues that are going around with gun violence and loss and trauma with our kids. So I met with him with his 5A Elite program. He did have a pilot program in Rankin a few years ago that really worked out with mentoring and with groups. So now he's extending the program free of charge as a pilot, and I believe he has funds from Hines as well to extend that to a group of 15 to 20 students to start. It'll meet after school. A couple days a week. After the meeting tonight, we'll meet with Dr. Woods and see how that will be implemented. But this was definitely a student-led request, if you will, and he'll be working with his peace builders and talk about his quadrants of learning on social justice, on kind of how to be an effective citizen, social dynamics, things of that nature. So he'll be working with our students throughout the year, and they'll be identified by Dr. Woods.
Thank you. Dr. Woods, please pass along our thank you to the kids, too, for initiating this.
Any further questions or discussion? Okay. Seeing none, we'll call the vote. Motion carries unanimously, which moves us to 14.4.
Just a note on 14.3, I did review the MOU. In fact, our office made edits to it, so it's fine to go and sign and proceed.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Superintendent 14.4, approval of corrective action plan from the Auditor General's report.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Hanchett, second by Dr. Hildebrand. Any questions on the plan from the Auditor General report? Okay. Seeing none, call the vote. Motion carries unanimously, which moves us to 14.5.
Superintendent's 14.5, approval of the multi-hazardous safety plan.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Hanchett, second by Dr. Hildebrand. Any questions on this plan? Okay. Seeing no questions, we'll take the vote. Motion carries unanimously. And that concludes the agenda, I believe. Is there any old business? Okay. New business?
Yes, I just wanted to ask something. I know for my son and some other people, I know some of the students up at the high school still have not been assigned lockers. I'm wondering, I mean, they've been in school a month. But what's the plan for that? Do we know?
Dr. Woods? Lockers were issued today.
Oh, okay.
I was a little busy.
I imagine that.
Everybody got lockers today.
Well, yeah, I will give you kudos because my son has. You told me that he has not witnessed one fight this year. He said so. Mr. High School is a changed place. So.
I wish I could say there was none. He didn't witness it, so that's good. But we've had 1.5 because the little kids I counted as a half.
He was punching himself.
Making progress.
You're doing very well. Thank you.
I appreciate the support.
Thank you. Okay. Any other new business?
Well, I guess another part.
Oh, yeah.
Another thing somebody asked me was that, you know, in the cafeteria, I guess they had talked about. I guess they had changed the policy. I guess where the kids come in if they want to buy something extra, if they paid money, they kept the money. They did not give the change. I guess they used to give the change back. Now they just keep it and they add it to their account, and then there. So I guess there was some.
Please.
She's here?
Yeah. Could you come on up and tell us how the system works?
We actually we tried to expedite the process of the students getting through the snack line because we've added a lot of new products. So the lines were backing up. We couldn't get all the kids through. So we tried to find a remedy for that problem. So if they weren't counting back change and they were just putting the money on their account, we thought it would expedite the process. But with everything going on, we're having a little bit of issues with the point of sale system. So we did talk to the kids and let them know that we will be giving them their change back. And then also there's some students that I guess need the change because they catch a PAT bus after school to go to different places. So we want to make sure that they get there. And so we have changed that. It wasn't really a policy change. It was just a trial and error.
Oh, okay.
But we changed it back so the kids are more than welcome to get their change back. Or they can put the money on their account and then use it for tomorrow or the next day, whichever they prefer.
Thank you.
All right. Good. Any other new business? Okay. We did reports last week, but a reminder that our committee meetings will be the first week of October on the 2nd and the 3rd. Which brings us to public communication. Is there anyone who wishes to address the board at this time?
I would like to, Jay.
Okay. Good evening. We're glad to have you. The board welcomes the comments. Just a reminder, please give your name and address of residence before you begin. You have 2 minutes to speak. Questions posed will be answered at the conclusion of the meeting, and no personal attacks on district staff will be tolerated. So, thank you for being here.
Thank you. Kathy Welsh, 1119 Lynn Avenue, Turtle Creek. Hello, everybody. Hello, Mr. Berry. I was just coming to talk tonight on a program that I've been working as a part of to develop through Greater Valley Community Space. And the name of the program is All Corp, which is Alternative Learning Center of Restorative Practices. And it is going to be some community leaders, Truth for Youth, Greater Valley Community Space. And what we're working on is an alternative program for kids that are being suspended from school. And it'll have a 1-day curriculum, a 3-day curriculum, a 10-day curriculum, which we've already developed. There will be a restorative practice program there to develop our students, keep them pushing into being future leaders and productive members of our society. Hopefully, with this program, we will be able to help the families whose kids are continuing to be suspended, other resources too, as we identify those. We would also be working with, the juvenile justice system if any of these kids would then flow into, parole officers, like probation officers or any type of criminal thing. We'll try to get a hold on that and be involved in that also. But most importantly, what this would do is when our children were being suspended from school, we would provide a place for them to come to. So when they were suspended, they would come down to the community center and we can continue them to have a curriculum, or we have a building on Jones too, right up here. That's our building next to the church. So we're developing this really aggressively. We've got a lot done. We're hoping to maybe start it after the Christmas break once the kids are a little more comfortable. We won't just, necessarily work with just Woodland Hills, but we would love to work with Woodland Hills and Propel and concentrate on 7th through 12th grade. I've lived through this district since I was a child. I've lived through all the good and I've lived through all the bad. And I've learned a lot from all the good and I've learned a lot from all the bad. And I know when my son Jeremy would be suspended from school, then he'd be hanging with all those kids that were suspended from school and learning all the stuff that the kids that were suspended from schools would do while the parents are working, So I'm really excited about this program. I can answer any question you guys have. We would love to present it one day when we have it all ready for you guys, but I really want you all to be thinking about it. I think it would be something nice to bridge a gap between, school district and community. So let me see if there's anything else I didn't tell you guys. I think that's about it. So the name of it is All Corp, and it's Alternative Learning Center of Restorative Practices that we hope to run out of one of our buildings.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody have any questions? No. And I just wanted to take a second and thank Ms. Lentz for our awesome girls' night. We gave back, I think, just under $6,000 in just professional services. So that's just the braiding, the makeup, the nails, and the lashing. We also gave back over $2,000 in takeaways between Route 21 and whatever Giselle Fetterman brought up. And then Jessica Detour and Lori McDowell gave away $1,200 in raffle baskets. So we fed those girls approximately around $8,000 on Monday night, and they left there beautiful. So thank you for that, Ms. Lines. It was great. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Anyone else? Good evening, Mr. Berry.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Louis Berry, 256 Fleet Street in Rankin. I just want to take a minute out to say that I think Principal Woods is doing a remarkable job. The children I talked to, the students, said the stress levels are way down. I mean, the reports I hear, the kids are not in the hallways anymore. They're in class. They're engaged. School spirit is up. And quite frankly, the community support is coming back. So I just want to give kudos to Dr. Woods. And I like being able to see your Facebook posts every day. And since I can't be in the school, that's my way to be in the school. Following Dr. Woods. That's what I got.
Great. Thank you. Anyone else? Okay. Seeing none, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you all. See you next month.